There can be no compromise between poverty and riches. The two roads that lead to poverty and riches travel in opposite directions. If you want riches, you must refuse to accept any circumstance that leads toward poverty. The word riches is used in its broadest sense, meaning financial, spiritual, mental, and material estates. The starting point of the path that leads to riches is desire. In earlier chapters, you received full instructions for the proper use of desire. Now, in this chapter on fear, you have complete instructions for preparing your mind to make practical use of that desire. Here is the challenge that will determine how much of this philosophy you've absorbed. If, after reading this, you are willing to accept poverty, then you will receive poverty. That's one decision you cannot avoid. If you demand riches, decide what form and how much will satisfy you. You've been given a roadmap. If you neglect to start the journey or stop before you arrive, no one will be to blame but you. This responsibility is yours. No excuse will save you from it if you fail or refuse to demand riches from life. The acceptance calls for only one thing, the only thing you can control, and that is a state of mind. A state of mind is something that must be assumed. It cannot be bought. It must be created. Fear of poverty is a state of mind, but it is powerful enough to destroy any chance of achievement. It paralyzes reason, kills imagination, undermines enthusiasm, discourages initiative, and destroys self-reliance. It leads to uncertainty, procrastination, worry, and failure in all forms. It ruins personality and poisons ambition. It causes sleeplessness, misery, unhappiness, even in a world of abundance. The fear of poverty is the most destructive of the 6 basic fears. It's placed at the top of the list because it's the hardest to master. This fear originated from the human tendency to prey upon others economically. While lower animals prey upon each other physically, humans get more satisfaction from preying upon one another financially. We live in an age of money madness. People are idolized for their wealth and judged by the size of their bank accounts. Many will stop at nothing to get it, legally or otherwise. Many marriages are based on money. It's no wonder divorce is so common. Some will acquire wealth by any means necessary. That's how powerful the fear of poverty is. Self-analysis may reveal weaknesses you'd rather not admit, but it is essential. You are the judge, jury, prosecutor, and defendant. Demand the truth. If you can't be objective, ask someone who knows you well to help. You're after the truth. Get it, no matter what it costs. Most people say, "I fear nothing." But that's not true. Many are bound spiritually and physically by fear. It runs deep. It often lives hidden in the subconscious. To identify it, search your character for these symptoms: indifference, apathy, laziness, lack of ambition, indecision, letting others think for you, doubt, making excuses, envying the successful, worry, nervousness, overspending, lack of self-reliance, overcaution, only seeing the negative, always waiting for the right time, procrastination, putting things off, compromising instead of committing, expecting poverty instead of demanding prosperity. These are signs of the fear of poverty. If you find even one of them in yourself, you must deal with it decisively. Now let's look at the fear of criticism. This fear robs people of initiative, imagination, and self-reliance. It causes people to conform, to hesitate, to follow the crowd instead of leading it. Many parents do enormous harm by criticizing their children, building inferiority complexes in them. Employers often destroy morale through unnecessary criticism. Criticism does not build, it tears down. It plants fear, resentment, insecurity, and shame. Next, the fear of ill health. This fear comes from both physical and social heredity. It is reinforced by suffering, uncertainty, and fear of death. Unscrupulous people exploit this fear to sell cures, pills, and false hopes. But most illness is imagined. Doctors estimate that 3 out of 4 patients suffer from imaginary illness. Fear alone can produce the symptoms of the disease feared. Fear is that powerful. Even suggestion can cause illness. Tell someone they look sick enough times, and they'll start to believe it. Their body may even respond. Such is the power of belief, of the mind. Now, the fear of loss of love. This is the most painful of all the fears. It's rooted in ancient times when men stole their neighbour's mate. Symptoms include jealousy, suspicion, lack of trust, fault-finding, and emotional instability. Fear of old age is next. This fear is driven by the possibility of sickness, of being less attractive, and of losing one's independence. Some give up mentally and emotionally because they believe their best years are behind them. But the truth is that some of life's most productive years are those after 50. Finally, the fear of death. This fear exists because we do not know what comes after life. But science, reason, and faith have begun to free us from this fear. Death is not to be feared. It is either a peaceful sleep or a transition into something more. Either way, it is not to be feared. Now let's talk about worry. Worry is a state of sustained fear. It grows from indecision. It paralyzes reason and destroys self-confidence. Worry often begins with small doubts, then grows into a habit. It spreads like a virus, person to person, mind to mind. The 6 basic fears become worry through indecision. But they can all be conquered with one simple tool: decision. Decide to accept death as inevitable. Decide to conquer poverty by pursuing wealth honestly and confidently. Decide to ignore criticism and be true to your values. Decide to embrace aging with dignity and growth. Decide to trust love or survive without it. Decide to live without worry. Once you do this, fear loses its grip on your life. Your mind becomes calm, your thoughts become clear, and your creative power returns. Fear is contagious, but so is courage. Choose courage, because the thoughts you hold shape the life you live, and you are the master of your mind.